command isn't louder, it's quieter, and the discipleship command becomes your natural frequency. So we have to first understand a few things here when it comes to commanding your life, commanding the energy space around you, commanding the power that you are looking to have. You can't sit here and think that everything that's happening to you is something that you can just manage and, oh, I'm going to try this way and try this and try out here. No. If you see the direction that you want to go, you must command the space that you're in. You must command the friend group you're in. You must command the mind that you have, right? All of these things must be in your control, but not in the sense of scarcity or in the sense of you leaking, because a lot of people want to have control when they have the money to back it based upon the insecurities that they never gotten over. You see, what men do, especially when you've built the empire that you want, right? And what does that look like? Just the success that you want. So once you start to get the success, you get the cash flow and you get the feminine energy that we've always spoken about, abundance, cash flow, and opportunities. When you start to get those things, but never worked on yourself in totality, in terms of seeing all your insecurities, seeing the places where your mind may be weak, seeing where you have some self-sabotage tendencies. Maybe it's in fitness, maybe it's with women, right? And the things that your business can't garnish you, right? These are the abundance that you've always desired, but you thought it would come with the success. But all of those things don't just come with success, especially if you're looking to sustain them for a long period of time. You must work on yourself, which means you must command yourself. So you must know the difference. There's a critical distinction between management and command. And so managers react to circumstances, commanders shape context. Control reveals anxiety masquerading as leadership. True command operates through gravitational presence, not forceful grip. Micromanagement signals internal security, and authority manifests as the calm that reshapes the environment. So again, when you get into places that you've never been into before, based upon the opportunities and the abundance that was given to you, you think just because your business may be doing well, that you in your personal life will be doing well. That's not always the case. If you suck with women, you're going to suck with women. You're just going to have money with you, right? And women are going to flock to you for all the wrong reasons. Then you have all these fuckers talking about, oh, it's gold diggers, gold diggers. No, you just never worked on yourself long enough so that the money wasn't the issue, or the money wasn't the signal for women to come over. It was truly you and the presence that you have. But because you have the money now and you never worked on yourself, women flock to you, but not in the way that you would have wished. And you feel that. Energy can't be faked. So when women come up to you, you know they're coming up to you simply because of the money you have in your bank account, not in the presence and the command that you have within your voice and the way that you show up energetically. And so you then feel that, and you feel all sorts of insecurities pop up, right? Micromanagement signals internal insecurities. So you sit there and you are just, what do I do? How do I do it? No. Over-explaining yourself. You're talking too much, right? You're taking the validation route. So you're validating the woman instead of sitting there and qualifying her. You are the value here. Well, yes, she has her value, but you have to show up as a structure. We always talk about if structure comes from discipline, and discipline is a masculine energy, and you're polarizing the feminine energy, do you think you then run and break that structure to validate the feminine? No, she's going to come to you already based on that masculine structure you have. But because you have the money, but you have an internal insecurity, you don't really have the masculine discipline to stay in that structure. You just have the money to showcase that you have it, masquerading as the leader. And we've spoken about it in so many other videos where you have a group of guys, but they all have their internal dialogue based upon the business that they built, right? And they take on the identity of that loop that allowed their business to flourish. But then when they get into a group together, they've never dealt with the personal things that kind of make them who they are instead of the business loop. So now you got a guy who truly gives off the energetic signature of a leader, and there's someone in that group who envies that and really secretly wants to be the leader. You have another cut guy who never worked on himself enough to have a structure, so he just bows down to the leader. We've seen that before. And we have a guy who might just be sitting there just because he doesn't have the ability to have the confrontation with the leader or somebody else of power, which is usually the guy who resents the leader. So it's just a concoction of dudes who don't even understand their own energetic signature and their energetic signature or the signal that they're giving out to not only the group, but also the women around them and the environment that they're in. All you have to do is watch a group of guys and you can point out who's the leader, who envies the leader, who's the cuck bitch that follows the leader, and who's the guy who really doesn't give a fuck, but he shows up for the benefits. We all seen it before. And so true command is you understand what's going on in the environment, and it's not a reactionary thing, right? You shape the context of the room, the environment, and the conversations that may be going on. If women come up to you, you know how to shift into a different mode and focus on that lady, right? It's not a chasing thing. It's a sit there and you're polarizing her and look how she reacts, responds to your masculine energy. And that's where a lot of it, and that's just that's a deeper fucking conversation that we'll have to have in a different video, where you're running from the things that you must confront in your life, so that when you polarize women, you know how to hold that structure firm instead of falling into softness. Because women don't want a man who's going to fall into softness. Women want a man who can sit there and allow her to give her full nature to you, which is chaotic and soft. But a lot of y'all turn into just chasing women because you don't know how to have sex, right? So anytime sex presents itself, oh, head over heels for sex, oh my God. The fuck? You don't know what softness looks like for real and what it can do to your structure, right? So as soon as you get around the softness, your structure crumbles because you don't understand that it will make you crumble. So it's a discipline thing towards your own command within your masculine structure. Different fucking video though. So the nervous system is sovereignty. Composed leadership creates organizational stability. Your tone shapes the collective nervous system of your team, and the most effective leaders rarely elevate their voice. Command is felt before it's heard. It's energetic, not verbal. Calm creates coherence. Chaos creates confusion. Allow your nervous system to be calm. I've said it over and over and over and over and over. Your nervous system holds the keys to the very things that you want. If you can allow your nervous system to become neutral, right, and trigger wherever you need it to trigger at the time in which you need it to trigger, that's full command over your nervous system, which means you're in a sovereign state, because nothing can penetrate your nervous system if you don't allow it. So if something pisses you off, you don't go into some crazy spat or some sprawl, right? You tell your mind exactly what the context of what's going on, negative or positive. You stay neutral and allow yourself to respond to whatever is happening in front of you. Your nervous system is the key, but a lot of you haven't taken the time, especially because your business has done so well. You feel hell. Money's coming in, life's good. Who gives a fuck? You give a fuck, because when you go home lonely as fuck because you don't know how to operate in a team, you don't know how to be a leader, you don't know how to talk to women, you don't know anything realistically besides how to make money online or in whatever forms that you make it. That's the only thing you know how to do, and you feel accomplished. That's foolish. You have to note that your nervous system will give you the sovereignty that you're looking for. You have to learn yourself at a deeper level to continue to sustain your structure enough so that this cash flow can continue coming and be sustained over long periods of time. You want women? You need to learn your nervous system. You want to roll with other powerful men? You need a nervous system check. You have to recalibrate yourself at every level that you get to, not just in the business realm, but in your personal life. Your nervous system gives you everything that you need to be a leader, and a proper leader, not just one who is just doing some shit as it comes as a reaction to his environment, but someone who can command the space, not at a speaking tone, but on an energetic plane. As I said a second ago, bro, I could give you story times after story times after story time. Bro, I've been in rooms where I say nothing, but my energy speaks. Because there's no need to speak around these chaotic fucking men. Sit the fuck quiet, observe the arena, and then operate. That's it. Execute on the things that you know you need to, and don't fucking speak when you don't need to. But because you want to showcase this abundance or this cash flow or whatever, you speak too much, then you reveal too much. Because your nervous system doesn't feel seen because of a deeper rooted loop that you're in that's based around the validation that you need to showcase that your identity exists. Deeper conversation. Next point. Developing command presence. Conscious breathing precedes communication. Silence as strategic tool. Stillness as a signal. Measured tone. Economical movement. Power precedes sound, presence precedes words. Command isn't performed for effect, it's embodied as essence. Like I said a second ago, I'm not going to sit here and walk into a room with all these big hitters who have their chaotic bullshit going on and they're yapping away and trying to be the biggest and the baddest in the room because their ego needs them to feel validated by everybody else by being this big and bad voice within the space. I just enter, I sit, I observe. I know the power I come with, and that's it. Right? And that power is felt. It's not something that you need to speak upon. You simply watch and you understand that you're combat ready. You got all your weapons on you. You are a lethal threat even without those weapons. Your words cut like knives and your energy is very much so felt by every human that you come in contact with. So when you are that rounded of a human being, you don't need to speak often. You just enter these rooms, do what you came to do in those rooms and get the fuck out. And as a matter of fact, the better you are at understanding yourself, the less you have to speak. And if people don't want to speak to you because you're not some pronounced figure in the way that you speak and have to showcase a side of your ego to flare out, then hell, guess what? I don't need to speak to you in the first place. As a matter of fact, you're doing me a service by staying the fuck away from me, right? There's too much value when you get to a specific level of understanding, not only of self, but you have the cash flow and the structure to match. I don't necessarily need too much people in my brain, let alone having this energetic exchange, because as we know, everything is an energetic exchange. And if you didn't know that, I want you to start to understand that. Everything you do is an energetic signal, and when you interact with another human, you are energetically exchanging something, right? You are giving off a frequency, they are then giving you back their frequency. And therefore, if people don't want to speak to you, good. But guess what? I'm in the room for a reason, right? And that's the thing. Know how to speak. Know how to breathe when you get into spaces where, hell, there might be business deals on the line, right? When you get $100,000 contracts in front of you, you got to know how to breathe. Because when it's time to sign, it's time to sign, right? And there's no need to overexpose. There's no need to overextend yourself. You simply are in the room for the exact reason you're in the room. Now, does this mean you need to be a fucking mime or a fucking quiet, shy guy in the corner? No, your energy is going to speak to you so you're not shy, one. Two, if you know that image is everything, your image will show that, one, you are a powerful human being. And then two, everything that you do is precision. I'm speaking to the people in a room of power. And usually power is quiet when it's truly powerful. So therefore, you don't overextend your hand in these rooms. You just simply do what you came there to do. And one of the biggest power moves that you could possibly do is go to another power figure within the room, especially if you're new to the room. Different conversation. But again, the point of the matter is get a full grip of understanding who you are at a deeper level so that you can enter all of these rooms, whether it be with other businessmen, with women, with regular just associates. Understand who and why you do what you do. Note that your validation does not come from external factors or figures, but from within. And now everything is an energetic signal to the space around you on how you want to be treated and where you're going. So relax, take the time to understand yourself at a deeper level and kind of get full command over your life. And so your closing statement, command doesn't chase compliance, it cultivates it through presence. Consider yourself warned.